Namaskar, I'm Sujita Shaki Mohot and I'm going to present on my research paper, Parents' Perception on Enhancement in Applying Reading Culture Among Children in Urban Areas of Nepal. So these are the master narratives of my research paper and personal narratives of research. When I was in Nepal, I never felt reading habit is that important, even when my daughter loves reading. However, after leaving Nepal, I came into contact with foreign parents and learned how they encourage their kids to develop a reading habit by reading bedtime stories and reading aloud to them, which is an important part of child development that we often parents tend to overlook. So these are the backgrounds of the study. Reading is the ability to understand words written in a textual form, which enables the researchers to improve their knowledge for personal development as well as academic performance. Good reading habits can help students improve their knowledge and linguistic skills, which will help them in their future job or career as well as academic success or achievement. It is difficult for children to improve their reading skills. That is why parents they need to play an important role in guiding and encouraging their child's growth in reading skills. So the main significance of the study, this research, it efforts to make parents aware about the kids' reading habit and to encourage them to critically evaluate their own efforts to instill a love of reading in their children. So regarding the national research context, I came across the different literatures. So our literate citizens are not developing any interest over reading anything beyond their course book, probably because they have not felt the importance of reading. In a survey conducted, the most common excuse is being lack of patience and time to invest over the reading. I took this literature from the Kathmandu magazine, How is Reading Culture in Nepal? And another one is like from the Fostering a Reading Culture in Nepal from the Annapurna Express. So Marajan described that parents themselves buy prescribed book for the children on their way to work or back home, but the concept of letting the kids explore book store is missing in Nepal, and this is what is hindering the development of reading culture, reading culture. So regarding the policy review, so according to the policy 9.2, there will be parents involved in overall development of a child. So I just took this from the Rashtriya Shiksha Niti 2076, and I couldn't find the particular about the reading habit or something education one. Um, so on the policy regarding the international research context, I took this literature from the perception of teachers about the roles of parents in developing reading habits of children to improve their academic performance in school. So it states that Tijard, Schofield, and Harrison in 1982 stated that in order to understand the critical role parents should contribute in success of their children by listening to them while they read their school books and other texts of their interest. Likewise, in Nigeria, I took this literature from the Addressing the Poor Reading Culture in Nigeria, and this day. In Nigeria, lack of availability of suitable reading materials, absence of well-designed reading activities, insufficient trained staff to prosecute reading culture in schools, and ineffective monitoring and evaluation of readership promotion programs are constant challenging currently affecting readership development. The main purpose of the study is to figure out how can parents of urban area foster reading habits in Nepal, and my research question is how can parents do to help the children develop a reading culture. So regarding the conceptual framework, my overall research is based on arts and STEM, like it includes the different bedtime stories, then the kathas, and how transfer the moral values, the life skills, spiritual aspect, indigenous knowledge from my participants. And so I have kept some photographs here. I brought some photographs here, like this is from the Lhasa. This is my indigenous knowledge that that my grandparents, when my grandfather, he used to go to Lhasa for the trade business, and he used to tell the he used to share his stories to journey to Lhasa, how he had to struggle, and I really remember that. And another one is of the Surai. It is one of the indigenous knowledge that I transfer to my daughters. And like another one is this is a authentic Newari dishes, is a samay bhaji, and I just learned to cook samay bhaji, prepare the samay bhaji from my mother and my late grandmother. Another my research is based on the interdisciplinary approach as well, and it includes the research on the language like English, Nepali. So it includes different stories. So it might be based on the English or Nepali, fiction, non-fiction, and different technologies are used in order to tell the stories, like digital storytellings are used to tell the stories. So here are some stories like Sunku Bonjoro that we used to read when we are with kids, like. And from now the generation now the time had changed, and the students the children, they read the stories from the digital, they use the digital storytelling apps, and even the fictions and non-fictions books as well. So regarding the methodology, research paradigm, interpretive paradigm is used in which the researcher interacts with the participants continuously over a long period of time. Research approach like quantitative approach is used because stories cannot be expressed in quantitative, so qualitative approach is used. And then regarding research design, narrative inquiry is used in order to in order to bring the narrative or stories from the participants are well educated. I've selected those well educated parents of a child from 4 to 7 years, and both the genders in order to reduce the biasness, both the genders are selected. And methods of data collections are virtual interviews with parents, as well as self experience. And regarding the ethical considerations, I just I respect the privacy, so pseudonyms are used, and I consider the ethical aspects of the students of the study by discussing the research topic, process, and receive consent from the participants. Method of data analysis. So I examine the raw data that I gathered through the interviews, then I code and decode the information, translate it, and generate 4 different themes, and I represent that data in poems, narratives, and diagrams in a final research text. And this is the data analysis process that I took from the KIM. So regarding the findings and discussions, my first theme is time constraint. So when I interviewed the participants, and when I listened to the recordings, I came across this poem. It says, time and tides wait for no one, neither you nor me. We sleep time everywhere from the dawn till the dusk, from the birth till death. But this time in the clever time, it doesn't stop like a clock or a watch. We should learn to manage our time, or else time will manage us. So wake up. It's a time to open our eyes and widen our horizons. Now it's time to motivate and act as a motivator. And there's a saying in Nepali, "Kola farkindaina and samayale parkidaina." So these are the barriers of reading culture. So when I interview the participants, they come up like they have like maintaining relations, job, cultures, traditions, one day weekend. So household chores are some of the barriers of the culture. And another theme is second theme is aware about the reading culture. So all the parents, they are aware about the reading cultures. So by they do borrow books that are of no use from the relatives or from their friends, or buying books, reading books for children, and then read novels, and aware or taking children to the libraries as well. And when it comes to transferring indigenous knowledge, um, uh, parents they transmit indigenous knowledge to knowledge of Tukipati, Korwa, stories of Kwati, share experience, stories behind different festivals, stories shared by grandparents. And another one is the use of technology in storytelling. So while they used different technologies to tell the stories like books, iPad, mobile, YouTube channels, and televisions. Regarding the conclusion, the purpose of this paper was to examine parents' perspective on enhancement in application of reading culture among children in urban areas of Nepal, and the majority of the participants are aware of the importance of reading, but due to time constraint, they are unable to incorporate it into the daily routine. But they realize that they will try their best to foster the reading habit. And, in order to conclude, that parents are the role model for children, so parents should read in front of the children to encourage them to read and can create a suitable reading area for the children. So parents should also contribute in the success of the children by listening to them when they are reading. They can take kids to the library or bookshop and let them choose books or uh, mm, of their interest in order to motivate them in fostering reading culture. So these are the references and this is the annex or interview questions. Thank you.